Hi gang, it's DeAnn. Welcome to my kitchen. So today I'm going to be recreating a recipe that I found on the Beachbody blog. It's slow cook banana bread oatmeal. Can you handle it? I know. I mean, I love banana bread, and if I could eat the whole loaf, I would, but that's far too many yellow containers, as you know. So today it's going to be slow cooked, and that's so great for meal prep because that means we can make a very large batch, and then once it's done at the end of the day or the next day, then we can individually portion it out, put them in the fridge, and have them ready to go every day for the week. Isn't that awesome? I mean, that's the whole point of meal prep and having these big batches so that we set ourselves up for success when it comes to either weight loss or just a busy day or just maintaining that weight loss and transformation that you've gotten at this point. So without further ado, let's get started. It's going to be really easy. So again, I got this off the Beachbody blog, and you can go there and find a ton of recipes. This one looked delicious, so I'm going to show you what it takes. Okay, so we're going to start with a slow cooker. Do you have one? So slow cookers are great because you can put everything in. It's a one pot meal and then walk away from it. Okay, and if you happen to have one of those slow cookers that has a timer on it, even better. So when you're looking at your recipe, you'll see that there's just a bunch of ingredients that you'll want to get started with. And the first one, of course, is going to be oats. So I have organic steel cut oats. These are from Trader Joe's, but if you don't have a Trader Joe in your area, just shoot for the steel cut oats. There's a lot more fiber and nutrition in the steel cut oats than regular oats. So make sure it says that on there. And as far as like a dense nutritional value, every ingredient in this recipe is going to be so beneficial to you so that you actually feel great about eating banana bread. No guilt. Okay, so 1 cup, and again, you can find this recipe on the Beachbody blog, so you can follow along there, but it's pretty simple. 1 cup of dry steel cut oats. So I'm putting that in, and then it calls for 4 cups of almond milk. But if you read further ahead, you'll realize that really only 1 cup goes into the slow cooker, and the rest is going to be used once it's done and you reheat it, okay? Or you eat it right out of the pot. So I'm going to add that almond milk and make sure that it gets all the way around. And almond milk is so good. I get the unsweetened vanilla, okay? So any brand that works for you, unsweetened, which means that there's no additional sugar added to it. And again, calcium fortified, so a great nutritional value added to it, because who doesn't need more calcium in their diet? I think because especially people who are on weight loss, we tend to be fearful of dairy products. So, and for those of you that are lactose free, great addition or alternative for your diet is almond milk. So we got 1 cup in there, and then we're going to be putting in 4, let me just check, it is 6 tablespoons of ground flaxseed. Okay, make sure it's ground, not whole flax. The reason for that is whole flax will go right through your body. Oh yeah, it's great fiber, but it's not really actually benefiting you with the omegas because your body is not it's not available to your body. So make sure that you get ground flaxseed, and there's 6 tablespoons in here. So we have an addition of fiber and omega-3. And now omega-3 you've heard a lot about, very important nutrition to go into your body because it's a natural anti-inflammatory. So it's great for your heart, but it's also great for your joints. So instead of taking, supplements in capsules, you just take it as nature gives it. So I'm spreading that around. 6. Okay, and I'm going to take my little spoon and mix it around a bit. And then we're gonna need water. So there's a lot of water in this recipe. In fact, there's 3 cups. I'm just glancing at my cheat sheet over here. There's 3 cups. Do you have one of these? Your little Shakeology shaker? That's 3 cups right there. So a great cheater, don't you think? So we're gonna add that in, because why not use what we have, right? Great. 3 cups of filtered water if you have it, that's great. It doesn't need to be bottled water as long as it's filtered. Lots of tap water is great. You don't need to worry about getting everything bottled, okay? So we have the 3 cups of water and we have the oats, and now we're gonna do the salt. So I have Himalayan sea salt, another nutritionally high value ingredient for many reasons. Electrolytes your body. It helps with hydration. It has a lot of other beneficial electrolytes in it. So Himalayan sea salt, if you can do it, even better. So we have, how much salt are we looking at? And this is what I do. I turn it upside down because it has this little cap on it. So I turn it upside down, I grind it like this. A little cheater. Because otherwise you put it right over your meal and you might get more than you want. Okay, so we're gonna sprinkle that in. That's a ½ teaspoon. And then yummy, yummy cinnamon. That makes breakfast. I love cinnamon. And again, cinnamon, a nutritional benefit is actually it helps with your blood sugar. So if you know people who have diabetes, if they take in a teaspoon of cinnamon a day in any product, they can put an additional teaspoon in to their oatmeal afterwards. It actually helps with blood sugar control, okay? So cinnamon is going to be, I know, 1 teaspoon. So right here, make sure it's clean if you're going into the jar, because you don't want any cross-contamination. So I have 1 teaspoon, I'm sprinkling it around. Okay, what else do we have? We need nutmeg, and I did not pull that one out, and we need a ½ teaspoon, so let me grab that. Easy. And ½ teaspoon of nutmeg, another great ingredient. I love to put nutmeg on my oatmeal. We gotta use some muscles. There we go. I sometimes will sprinkle it on, like if I'm putting, have you ever done a toast, you cut the hole in the middle and you cook an egg in it? Well, if I want it to taste like French toast, sometimes I sprinkle a little cinnamon and nutmeg on it. I know, that's just me because I love breakfast. And my son loves to have breakfast for dinner, so whenever we can, we take turns making that. My husband's not so much a fan. Okay, so we have water, we have almond milk, we have the oats, we have the flaxseed, cinnamon, salt, and nutmeg, and there's one more very important ingredient for this banana bread slow cook oatmeal. Know what it is? Bananas. Okay, 3 ripe bananas. So as mushy as you can get them, the browner, you know, the more spots you get on the outside, the better. But that doesn't always indicate that your banana is going to be very mushy. I always tell my son that. Don't judge a banana by its peel. I know it's book, but it's banana too. So I'm going to mash that up with my little hand masher. I love tools in the kitchen that make things a little bit easier, don't you? So I am taking that all the way down and just mashing it up enough. And if you don't have one of these, that's okay. Just grab a fork. Grab a fork and just mash it up in a little bowl. All right, so I am going to first get this off of the little blender here, because you want as much of that banana as you can get, because once that starts cooking up, it caramelizes and it just tastes so good. And that's where your sweetness is gonna come from. But it's a natural sweetness, right? So there's no added sugar in this, like refined sugars at all. So get your bananas, and the bananas, you know, as you know, have a great amount of potassium in them too, an electrolyte that's really important. All right, I'm gonna put that there. And then I'm gonna get the rest of the mixture out. So what you'll be doing with this slow cooker is you're gonna plug it in on low and let it go for 6 to 8 hours, okay? Then that's what I was saying. Just plug it in, turn it on, walk away. Don't even think about it. So if today is your meal prep day, this is probably something you want to start with earlier in the day. So maybe having your ingredients ready for you so that you can just throw them all in, and then hopefully you'll be ready by your meal prep, and that way you can take it out and container everything, which I'll be showing you once this is done. So, all right, that looks good. Mix that around, put on the cover, and then go enjoy yourself. And then come back and this house is gonna be smelling amazing. And then I'll be talking to you about how many containers, if you do the portion control with the yellow, red, blue containers, like on the 21-day fix for Beachbody. It's a great program if you're not familiar with it at all. I'll talk more about it once this is done. Okay, so the oatmeal has been slow cooking for nearly 8 hours, and when I walked back into the house, it smelled amazing, like I thought it would. So it's ready to go, and I'm gonna divvy it up into, as you can see, these little containers. These are glass containers that I can store them in. That way when you reheat them, you don't need to transfer them from a plastic Tupperware bowl into a glass or a bowl. You can just take it with you like this, plastic cover. And then what you'll end up doing is you're going to take some grade A maple syrup. Remember how I told you that this recipe is amazing because it's so nutritious? Well, the grade A maple syrup is just another addition to that. Even though it's sweet and we feel a little guilty about putting that on top, it's not going to be a lot that you're adding, but you're adding a lot of nutrition. You're adding iron, zinc, magnesium, a whole bunch of other great things. So don't skimp on this. And if you're used to having those fake syrups, then get your palate used to having real pure maple syrup. It's so much better. Even my teenager likes it. He prefers the other stuff, and who wouldn't? But the grade A maple syrup is so much better for you. So you'll put some of the walnuts on it, and I have my containers here. So you want a half a container of the walnuts. So I would fill up a whole thing and then just divvy it up between 2 servings. And then in addition, when you're filling your containers, take your yellow containers. So if you're familiar with our Beachbody portion fix, you will be using these containers, and all you have to do is go in, scoop it out, make sure that it fills that container, and then you dump it right inside, and that's a perfect portion. Then you'll grab your walnuts, you'll take a half of a blue, sprinkle it on, put your maple syrup on, put some almond milk in there, heat it up, and it's gonna taste so amazing. So I'm really looking forward to this in the morning, and I'll have about 6 servings to take me through the week unless somebody else in the family grabs one, and that's great too. So I hope you enjoy this slow cook banana bread oatmeal, and let me know what you think.